You are listening to ESPNcricinfo.
What a year 2019 was for Indian cricket. For cricket in general, what a World Cup, what an IPL final. It started with a series win in Australia. It's ended with a thrilling India-West Indies contest. And Sanjay Manjrekar had the best seat for all of it. Often surrounded by friends and acquaintances. But as he joins us now on this very special year in review on ESPNcricinfo's Videocast, which is back, thanks to Sanjay. Let's firstly let me welcome you, Sanjay.
Thank you, and nice to be in the company of Ronak and these two mics. I love this gadget. So it's actually the main star of the show.
You've come for the mics.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Thanks, Sanjay. Let's start with India. In a year of so many feelings and emotions for Indian cricket. Start with the positives, and the clear positive has to be one is Rohit Sharma. Record-breaking year as an opener, 2,400 plus runs, and then you got Virat Kohli reminded us of his class, which. Perhaps the only thing that was missing in this year was that World Cup win. But as you look at Rohit and Kohli, who would you say had the standout year? Would it be Rohit Sharma?
I mean, it's clear that Rohit Sharma had a better year with the bat, but that's not to say that Virat is any less of a player. When you look at just sheer greatness of two batsmen, Virat Kohli is still in a different league, and there's a big distance between him and Rohit. But for Rohit Sharma, excellent year because Test matches were his sort of final. Claim to greatness, batting greatness, and that's where he did really well.
Let's talk about the World Cup. And it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
How would you look at it? Is this team going to learn and get stronger, or was that one of those setbacks that this team, like the 2017, where you felt this team was so good, should have won, and maybe an opportunity like that may not come again?
See, when you look at the overall performance of India in that World Cup, they played 8 matches, 1 got washed out. They won 6 out of 8, and I really got a little emotionally involved with the team because I believed India was a good team, had a great chance of winning the World Cup, and it showed that it had the most consistency amongst all teams. But that fatal morning, couple of hours of batting, and India's only weakness in the World Cup was number 4-5, and that got exploited once Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli went. There was nobody at number 4 to prop the innings up and get that target. So India's only Achilles heel was exposed in that World Cup crucial game. And had India won that,
could have been a different entire story. But have India learned from the cricket after that we've seen? Have they gotten a better team?
Number 4 was an issue, and I was actually staggered to see Dinesh Karthik being trusted with that job. I maintained for a long time that his real impact is in T20 cricket, but he was playing that match, batted at I think number 5. Rishabh Pant came in at number 4. So India got a little confused, reacted too much to that issue. But the big change is that Shreyas Iyer has arrived, and I think he's going to make a change. I think India finally found a number 4. Had that person been there in England, who knows, one substantial partnership India would have won. So the only change that I see is that India found a more reliable number 4, more sort of suited to that role.
It seems now the selectors have almost given us an indirect hint that is the focus now. Pant will be our keeper in white ball cricket going forward. And has he given you any reason to be more confident about Rishabh Pant, the keeper, perhaps even Rishabh Pant at the World T20?
No, because the inconsistency bothers me. There have been a couple of innings that he played against West Indies. So 2 innings that he's had, but he's been there for a while now. And the one thing that worries me about Rishabh Pant, maybe not in T20 cricket, I don't think that is that crucial a role being behind the stumps in T20 cricket, but 50 overs cricket, you need a decent keeper. And Rishabh Pant, the keeper in that series against West Indies, was below par, and I think that is the worry. Batting is still, you wonder whether he'll click or not click, but there is that danger value attached to his batting, and that is something that India will continue to back.
Alright, so Pant for the immediate future, you would say, but then that also leaves the question that's not really been answered, even though the selectors have just chosen to move on. But what lies for MS Dhoni, who has said that wait until January before you ask him again for his retirement. I'm assuming January 2020.
Yeah, so he's made a personal call that he just wants a break. He's not making any commitment. So the selectors are going about doing what they think is right. But from what we've seen of Pant, I think there's no doubt about the fact that Dhoni is a far better keeper. Batting, the jury is still out. Dhoni, hasn't played for a while. We'll see his IPL form and stuff. So I think there's a lot of mystery around Dhoni. But he's one guy who knows how to keep himself fit. And somebody told me that they saw him recently and he was looking really fit. So he does all his fitness and strength sort of routine when he's not playing as much. So There's no doubt at this stage, forget about whether Dhoni is going to play the IPL and how his form is going to be. Rishabh Pant, the keeper, in 50 overs cricket especially worries me, and that's where Dhoni is, streets ahead.
The finest batting performance in the year. If I had to quickly ask you to scan through all the cricket you've watched, you can take a few seconds.
Cheteshwar Pujara, and he doesn't come from Mumbai.
Correct.
Because see, people tend to forget a test match performance. India won in Australia, which was a great, and Pujara got 300 in that series.
And the third of those was
two
in this
came
calendar
in December
year, in Sydney,
2018, one this year. But what was great was that we had a flag bearer of defensive batting winning a test match. I continue to maintain that Pujara is a batsman that works against all odds, and it's incredible what he's achieved with the limitations that he's had.
Does this Indian team give you the confidence that it's learned from its mistakes in this year's World Cup? Are they better? Are they improved T20 side from the West Indies series from what you've seen?
India today is a better T20 side than it was a couple of years back or last year. One big change that has happened is that Rahul's form, and that he's now become a T20 opener along with Rohit Sharma. So this opening pair is formidable.
So Rahul is your T20 opener ahead of Shikhar Dhawan, no doubt now.
Yeah, 50 overs, I think the jury is still out whether Dhawan can come in and bat in place of Rahul. But Rahul has got enough runs to make it difficult for Dhawan to come back and claim his spot straight away. Bowling wise, Shami is getting better as a wide ball player. Bumrah will come back. Hardik Pandya will become that, bowler will chip in with a couple of overs. They've got three options: the spinners, Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav, Jadeja.
What a difference a year makes though. A year back, you thought Kuldeep and Chahal are going to change the way white ball cricket is played and in India's biggest weapons. And now a year later, both of them you can't play them in the same team, it seems.
But I think that is more because of tactics.
So they've not fallen out of favour?
No, they haven't fallen out of favour because that last 1 year, I think Virat Kohli was experimenting with players who could do both. That's why Shivam Dubey was in the team. Jadeja got more of chances playing for India. The other day, Virat Kohli actually made a great comment. He said that when he looks back at the season, we had a lot of cricket at home in Indian conditions, and the spinners were not in the news, especially in test matches. So that's it's a great statement on Indian seam bowling that the fast bowlers actually overshadowed the Indian spinners.
What a year 2019 has been for you, Mr. Manjrekar. Fantastic. As a broadcaster,
I
as a
feel
commentator.
very happy. Can I be very honest?
I expect nothing.
So I started this in 97, 98. So it's been about 20, 21 years in this profession. It's been the worst year for me as analyst and commentator, the worst year, and that's it.
I'm very interested to know that after the Jadeja incident in the World Cup, and he had that big, gesture as well, which was, I'm guessing, aimed towards you. Did you ever have the chance after that to meet with him?
No.
Cold water?
No, I don't think that has happened. With Pollard, it happened because he misunderstood me.
Yeah.
There was no misunderstanding here. I said exactly what Jadeja heard.
Yeah.
So there's no question of, trying to...
Do you regret the words though at the time?
No, it's a commonly used cricketing term. The thing is that I gave an interview for a random news channel, and that line was picked up, a player got upset, but bits and pieces is something that a lot of people use. Like Kumar Sangakkara in the very next game, when he wanted to describe Jeevan Mendes, he used that exact term, and I went like, Sangha, be careful about it. But why I say that it was a terrible year is, I made that comment. The very next game, Jadeja in that semi-final played an absolute blinder of an innings, the kind of batting that we've never seen from him.
But you should have made that observation about 2-3 more players. Had you said it about Dinesh Karthik and Rishabh Pant,
would have won the World
Cup. But anyway, such a shame. I've also seen as the year went on that the players are important and those who've not played are therefore not as important. And
You're talking about Harsha, I think.
I mean,
but now I want to get very serious about this.
Yes.
See, one thing I pride myself on is being professional. And with that particular comment, it was me losing control, and I was unprofessional, I was wrong, and something that I regret. It was wrong of me. So that is what really bothers me, that I let my emotions get the better of me. So mostly being unprofessional and to an extent indecent as well.
So you regret that moment?
Of course, it was wrong, and I say that because it was unprofessional, and the first thing that I did was I apologized to the producer that I was working for. It was wrong.
And you hold the opinions of non-cricketers in decent regard as well in your...
People who have read my book knows that I have actually made a plea for production companies to have good commentators. It doesn't matter whether they've played cricket or not. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had people like Tony Cozier.
I've read that exactly. You were one of the best you worked with has been Tony Cozier.
Yeah.
The year 2020 hopefully will be more about cricket than about Sanjay Manjrekar. But whatever said and done, he has always triggered conversation one way or the other on the game, and it's always a pleasure to have you, Sanjay. It's a good year for India, and let's see what 2020 has in store for.
I think you'll have a lot of 2020 matches in 2020. That's for sure.
Fantastic.